Hi everyone, today is Wednesday, April 29th, 2026, and this is your reading for today. And so I'm going to start by opening today's reading with a spread from the Sacred Geometry cards. I'm going to set the intention to bring through the message that we need to hear in order for us to align with the highest version of ourselves. Okay, so we've got Metatron's cube reversed. We've got morning meeting. And we've got circle. And if you notice here, there's circles throughout this entire opening. We have circles here in the Metatron's cube, circles here in morning meeting, and the actual circle. And so what's happening here is you're beginning to come full circle in an experience in your life and seeing yourself truly. Seeing yourself for the first time, things that you have never noticed. Your awareness is deepening, meaning nothing has escaped your awareness these days, and it almost feels makes you feel anxious, but yet you also know that this is the necessary work, and this is your confirmation that this is the necessary work, that this is part of the process. And when you feel like stepping back and quitting, just know that the discomfort has nothing to do with you needing to pull back. It's more about taking a break and proceeding and keep on going and keep showing up. So I'm going to pull some tarot cards on this and we can dive into more specifics about this. But this is really about trusting the process. This is about coming right back around and trying again. Continue to try again. Continue tuning in. Trusting the guidance you receive, you intuitively receive, trusting that you are absolutely clear on what you want to create moving forward. This is a great spread. This is a lot to do with paying attention to what's going on in your body. That when you're going through change, know that old habits literally exist in your body. And so your nervous system is efficient and it's smart and it's intelligent. And it's going to ping when you're doing something different, when you're stepping into the unknown. And it's not because it's wrong, it's because it's different. So being able to shift your perspective to seeing the unknown as more of an adventure, relating the unknown to emotions of excitement, of happiness, of trust. That's what's going to help change your baseline from anxiety to trust, to hope, to knowing, to joy, all the good stuff. Okay, so we've got the Eight of Swords. And so like I was saying, you're finally seeing yourself from a different perspective, seeing things you haven't really seen before. And it's almost comical, like you're kind of like, oh my gosh, it's funny because it was right in front of my face and I kept doing the same things. But now you're finally seeing it in a way that inspires you to act, to change it, in a way that makes you realize like, that's really just not me. That is not me. That's not who I want to be. And that is the perspective shift that needed to happen, the embodiment experience that needed to happen in order for you to be brave enough to begin taking action and stick with the plan moving forward. Then we've got the Queen of Swords. So this is the energy that you are currently in right now. The energy of, really hunkering down. I see you grounding yourself into the earth, as uncomfortable as this experience may be, as change feels in your body. You are knowing that grounding yourself, allowing yourself to move through this time in your life, this experience, with clarity and with trust, that when you get to the other side of this storm, you're going to be the person you have always wanted to be. That is going to be your new baseline. So that's exciting. And then we have the King of Coins. That's wonderful too, because you're going to make space for abundance and things that you have been holding away from yourself for so long, and it's all going to come all at one time. That's what it's going to feel like anyway. So when you are opening your heart, remember this: when you begin to feel uncomfortable in situations, ask yourself, is this something that I have been asking for and I'm just not used to receiving? I'm just not used to opening my heart and allowing things to come this easily, because your beliefs are beginning to change. You're beginning to notice that you don't have to work as hard or struggle as much to get what you want. And that alone makes you feel uncomfortable. And that is the change that needs to happen. The belief system that needs to change within you is understanding that as long as you are in alignment, everything is going to align and come to you like a river flows freely through the mountainside. Like, it's going to be so easy. And you are teaching your body that having this new belief system in receiving, surrounding receiving, is safe. And so try not to grip too hard as you experience getting the things that you want. Allow them to come in. Settle yourself. Move slower so that you can teach your body, your nervous system, that it is okay to not just receive, but to also expect that things are going to go your way, and it will always go your way, and that there is something valuable in everything that presents itself. All right, so I'm going to pull some guidance cards on this. I'm going to ask for guidance moving forward here. And I feel like I've already brought through a lot of the guidance of, tuning in and ensuring that you don't fall prey to the discomfort of change, that you trust that the change is happening as it should. And this is just part of the process. And also changing your relationship to the discomfort of change. Maybe not even saying that it's uncomfortable, but just saying like it's different, Perspective shifts is where things begin to actually shift in reality. All right, so conscious connections. This is reflective of being aware of yourself as you interact with other people. Being able to notice parts of you or the versions of you that you no longer want to be in a room with, in a sense. Like, you are going to come across people right now who are going to present an old version of you, who are going to present doubts, whether they're within themselves or that they're expressing to you, or that they share doubts about what they think about your path. Just pay attention to those. They aren't true. They are just old things moving out. They are an opportunity to clarify what you actually want moving forward. So just pay attention to those little moments, because it doesn't mean that you're regressing. It means that you're moving. It means that old things are moving out so that you are making space for the new things and the new way of being. Okay? Now, like I said, release the dark wound and let love live. So don't be so hard on yourself here. Trust the process. Don't be so caught up in needing to close that gap. And because there's always going to be a gap. You're always going to want more. You're always going to want to be more. And you're going to get to the end of this storm. And then you're going to realize that you want different things even again. And that's just going to be the endless cycle of life. And that sounds exhausting to somebody who doesn't know who doesn't want to commit to loving themselves. Because in loving yourself, you are allowing your natural, authentic self to continue presenting. And that is the process of changing, of letting go. When you truly love yourself, you make space for growth and evolution till the end of time. And so that's another perspective shift that, you will need to work on as time goes on, because you're so used to wanting to feel safe, and wanting to feel safe in a way of like, nothing changes, or needing to control change. And that's just not who you came here to be. You came here to be somebody who wants to flow with change, who is excited about change. It was society and the people who who you grew up around that convinced you that change is scary because they thought change was scary. And that is not the belief system that will move you forward in the way that you have been wanting to move. This is what's going to get you out of that feeling of feeling stuck. Our last one, new birth guarded vigilantly. Now, this one is special because, and this one is very specific because what you're wanting to do right now is be picky about who you have these conversations with as far as what you want to build moving forward. Right now, vulnerability is kind of a strong word, but that's exactly where you are right now in relationship to this new path that you're wanting to make, this new change you're wanting to bring through. It's kind of vulnerable. And so do your best to stay grounded and to stay clear. Remember the goal, remember the plan, remember that you are changing because this is, you want to be someone different. You want to create different things in your life. And so that requires being picky about your company, the company that you keep. Choose people who believe in you, who want to support this change, who aren't going to drag you back into the old person that you no longer want to be. This is also being picky about who you share your dreams with. Sometimes it's better to just keep it to yourself for a little bit and just continue envisioning it, continue sitting with it in your heart, continue building the momentum of emotion connected to the new reality, because then that's what it means to protect something that's just being born. It's kind of like, when a newborn comes in, like most mothers mothers feel this very protective instinct. We want to make sure that we grow this and protect this life and nourish it and nurture it. It's the same thing as you bring this new pathway into being. You want to nurture it and nourish it with good, loving thoughts, and matching that with good, loving behavior, and asking yourself, does this thought or action move the needle, move me closer to the person that I want to become and the dream that I want to bring to life? So I hope you were able to draw something valuable from today's reading. Have a great day.